Momentous. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Momentous. Momentous. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Momentous describes an important event, or moment in time. 2. If you refer to a decision, event, or change as momentous, you mean that it is very important, often because of the effects that it will have in the future. 3. Important because of effects on future events. 4. A momentous event, change, or decision is very important because it will have a great influence on the future. Examples. 1. At the time, our department was going through some momentous changes. 2. At first the momentous events unfolding in Rome seemed barely relevant. 3. Able leaders inspire groups engaged in less momentous projects as well. 4. This was to be a momentous decision, although he did not know it at the time. 5. It was as if she had made her decision, her momentous decision to marry, sleepwalking. 6. Do not confuse the ministerial dramas with the momentous choice that faces us all. 7. The sense that you are a part of an unparalleled history can play momentous tricks. 8. Whether or not to move overseas was a momentous decision for the family. 9. They knew that if their ideas were adopted, the consequences would be momentous. 10. Yes. We're twins, she said, and paused as if that were a momentous disclosure. 11. Soon after Hale and Ramsey were convicted, White faced a momentous decision. 12. The decision to leave home felt momentous, and the drive to California took a week. Monotonous. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Monotonous. Monotonous. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. When something goes on and on and on and on and on, the same way, for a long time, that's monotonous. 2. Something that is monotonous is very boring because it has a regular, repeated pattern which never changes. 3. Going on in the same tone without variation. 4. Boring because of always being the same. Examples. 1. She stood all day ironing a monotonous succession of clothes and sheets. 2. His creative devices are monotonous and there are many hollow moments. 3. The monotonous work involves stitching clothes, alongside hundreds of other women. 4. Passes went astray with a monotonous regularity, while players often ran down blind alleys. 5. She shivered, sensing something truly evil, in his monotonous voice and cold hands. 6. They laid no claim to literary skill, their style was monotonous and soon became wearisome. 7. Parades can be fun, but too much parading can make festivity look monotonous. 8. The modern streets are spacious, and the houses well built though monotonous. 9. Because there is always a human element, the routine surgeries could get monotonous. 10. The pattern was repeated with monotonous regularity in succeeding springs. 11. The crossing had been hard, bleak and monotonous, physically and mentally grueling. 12. Winky talked my father into it, said Crouch, still in the same monotonous voice. Monstrous. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Monstrous. Monstrous. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Monstrous is an adjective that describes something gross or shocking. It can refer to the size, shape, or general look of something. 2. If you describe a situation or event as monstrous, you mean that it is extremely shocking or unfair. 3. If you describe an unpleasant thing as monstrous, you mean that it is extremely large in size or extent. 4. If you describe something as monstrous, you mean that it is extremely frightening, because it appears unnatural or ugly. Examples. 1. The plan called for 5 dams and reservoirs, all of them of monstrous size. 2. The illustrations show monstrous beasts with bodies like bears and heads like tigers. 3. The modern chorus had swollen out of control, it was monstrous, indefinable and stubborn. 4. Let's not forget that, the perpetrator of this monstrous crime remains at large. 5. It's a striking image of traumatic birth from a monstrous, disembodied womb. 6. How dare anyone blame Britain's security services for this monstrous evil? 7. She was very beautiful, a fine thick-lipped specimen, while clearly looking monstrous. 8. A monstrous giant squid has gone on display, at the Natural History Museum in London. 9. Monstrous tyrannies have been overthrown, but there is still no food in the shops. 10. There were acres of tobacco, the plants heavy and green like some monstrous jungle weed. 11. The whole world stood still as something dark, and monstrous came through the air. 12. Booker Middle School was a monstrous brick building, that took up an entire block. Mountainous. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Mountainous. Mountainous. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. A mountainous area has a lot of mountains. 2. Very large in amount or size. 3. You use mountainous to emphasize that something is great in size, quantity, or degree. 4. Having a lot of mountains. Examples. 1. The deeply eroded mountainous morphology of the area also indicates an active uplift. 2. The landscape is mainly mountainous, including mixed and coniferous forests and pastures. 3. The plan is designed to reduce some of the company's mountainous debt. 4. The harrowing, mountainous scenery surely loses something without the big screen. 5. Gambon, 51, is one of the few actors big enough to play the mountainous Maxwell. 6. Army helicopters could not land, because of the mountainous terrain and dense jungle. 7. The mountainous terrain could make it slow going for the ground rescue teams. 8. They were hurrying along a mountainous path, on the way to the Guilder frontier. 9. Demarion's back was to them, but there was no mistaking his mountainous form. 10. Blubbering and still running, the red, mountainous man was in the room once more. 11. The whole island is mountainous, and is remarkable for its beautiful scenery, and its fertility. 12. This proportion is considerably above the rate in the other mountainous regions of Austria. Mutinous? Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Mutinous? Mutinous? It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. A mutiny is a revolt, when the led no longer obeys the leader. 2. Showing by your behavior, or appearance, that you do not want to obey someone. 3. If someone is mutinous, they are strongly dissatisfied with a person authority and are likely to stop obeying them. 4. Refusing to obey orders, or attempting to take control from people in authority. Examples. 1. She gave him a mutinous look, and snatched the cup from under his nose. 2. However, one cannot stop that process, by saying that, the conversation is mutinous. 3. The system collapsed into a vacuum, populated by mutinous doctors and dentists. 4. As to the mutinous soldiers, they were motivated by despair, not by politics or pacifism. 5. If that doesn't change soon, the mutinous backbench mood could reach boiling point. 6. But it was not enough, and the mood among conservative MPs remained mutinous. 7. If a man was work-shy, and mutinous, I would put him in a cell, to cool his heels for a while. 8. When the young dog would have skirted this too, the old terrier suddenly turned mutinous. 9. He hurried along the fossilized wooden ties with, accumulating mutinous anger. 10. His light blue eyes twinkled, as they flickered over Fred's, and George's mutinous faces. 11. Ancient Greeks imagined, they'd found the remains of titans slain by the mutinous gods. 12. Lunch in a hotel restaurant is, unaccountably slow one day, and customers are mutinous. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos.